Hi lovelies, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a few days since I've been on, but I did say in the last video that I was all up in my head about a health procedure I had to have done, and that I may not actually be providing a video for this week, but I decided that I am. I've had the procedure. I'm still stressed out about it because it is not finalised. I had the initial part of the treatment, and now I've got to go back. I've got to have a phone appointment with the surgeon, and I have a clinic appointment in February, and this is all as a result of a biopsy. And so of course now I'm a little bit stressed, but I'm okay, I'm all right. I try to be of the mind that, you know, don't worry about what you have no control over, and don't stress about stuff that has not even occurred yet. So yeah, I'm just doing my best now to get on with things. And I should be doing the steampunk journal, but I'm kind of over the steampunk, to be honest. I'm just over it. It's not anywhere near finished, but I needed a break. And while I've been having some time off because of recent events, I did get stuck into my scanning. When I came home from hospital on Monday, I got stuck into scanning stuff that has been sitting in my kitchen forever, and the pile was getting higher and higher, and I decided, no, between that and the embossing folders, the Sizzix machine out, and the dies and everything on my kitchen table, my kitchen was looking very untidy. So it was my mission to start working through it. And so, yes, as a result, I got a bit done. I'll talk about that in the time lapse. For now, I just need a bit of a break from steampunk, and so I have gone through my to-do box, and I've come up with some papers and a piece of a vintage file folder that I had left over, and then I've added some other pages out of my stash, and I'm going to put together a scrappy journal. And I've also got this little what I decided would be probably a little journal. I've got that as well, and so I thought maybe I might do something with this as well. I'm not going to embellish the inside of this scrappy journal. I'll do that in my own time, but this is just a quick video to put up, just to fill you in with what I've been up to over the last few days. And that, so let's just get stuck in and do it. I'm not sure which way I'm going to put this. It's actually a little bit wide, I think. Where's the page? Oh, be okay, I suppose, but maybe I might chop it a little bit. Will I chop it, or will I just... I might do something a bit different. I'm going to fold this over like so, and I'm going to make a flap for a, it's not very straight, Jennifer. I hope you've all been well, and if you've clicked on this video and you're going to stay and watch, thank you so much for supporting the channel in that way. It is very appreciated. I can't get this straight. I'm annoyed now because I can't get it straight. That's better. Okay, now I need to make a mark as to where that needs to come off. Yeah. Actually, I might put it up that side. So I've got the papers and everything here, and I'm going to stitch it all together. I'm going to embellish the cover so that you at least get to see something embellished, and then I'm going to go on with the other one. Yeah, little scrappy journal. So I'm just going to do this quietly now, and I will be with you in the voiceover. Okay, so I have glued the music sheet that I had onto the outside of that piece of file folder. How I wanted this journal to look in the end, I had no idea really. All I know is that I wanted to create a scrappy journal, and there's obviously no theme to it. It's just all bits that I've had lying around in my to-do box and around my desk, and yes, I'm just putting it all together. Here I'm doing the pages, and when I do pages I like to have a balance of book pages and pages for writing on, pages that have got some pretty detail on them, or some sort of interest. I like to intersperse them throughout sort of evenly if I can, as much as possible. So I'm just going to put the last page in. This is one of my hand-dyed, it's watercolour, and it's an embossed page. And I'm going to stitch them with the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. It's fairly sort of basic, and then I will trim the pages down. I think I've actually cut that bit out. So this particular video, the creation of this whole journal, took me 4.5 hours. I had 4.5 hours of recording time, and of course I've edited parts of it out, and I've also, of course, adjusted the speed to at least get it to near the hour. It's just gone over, so it's pretty normal for me. The duration of this video is around my normal time. I usually do my best to keep them to the hour or less, so sometimes I do go over by just a few minutes. If I had to sped it up any further, you would have probably missed out on some details. For those of you who are really interested in my process, yeah, you would have missed out on some of that process. Yes, I still haven't found my awl to put my holes in my signatures, so I'm still using a skewer. It works. One day I'll get around to buying another bookbinding kit. I do need to get some more thread, so I'll probably just buy another whole kit. They're not very expensive, so yeah. What happened then? Oh, that's right, I broke a nail. I don't have many nails. My nails aren't very long, and I've been trying to grow them and trying to re-establish a nail bed, and I broke a nail right down to the place where I originally bit them down to, you know, and I haven't really bitten my nails for so long now, and I broke it. I was not happy. Anyway, so yeah, so I've put it together, and now it's a case of, I did decide that I was going to do some stuff inside it, and the other journal, it's not going to be a journal now, it's going to be something else, and I'll do that on another video. And this one, I don't know, I just got carried away in my head. I really just wanted to do something in this journal, so I kept on with it, and so that's what you've got. You're going to get a whole well, pretty much a whole journal. There's a couple of cards that I need to make for it. I need to make a couple of tall tags, a couple of medium-sized tags, and one or two of the pages I might embellish a little bit more. I'm not really sure, but yeah, most of it got done in this video, which I'm really amazed that it only took me 4.5 hours. So about another hour's work and it'll be completely finished. And I don't know, maybe I might give you an update on that at some point. So the idea of doing a scrappy journal, apart from me just needing a break from steampunk, and the fact that I needed to do a video, I hadn't done one for some time, and the other reason for doing this type of journal is because there's no theme to it. There's no restrictions, and I can just allow my creativity to be, which is a really good thing. if we can just, not get caught up in, well, things have to be done a certain way. So, for me, that's what I love. I thrive creatively. Why? Hang on. I'll get my words out eventually. My creativity is more enhanced when I get to do things where it doesn't really matter what I'm doing. As in, this journal has no theme. It is, in some ways, along the lines of how a Victorian lady's scrapbook was created. They were created with no particular theme or style or whatever in mind. They were just a place where a lady's collection of paper treasures were kept, and dried flowers, and little things that they could slot into their scrapbook. That was what they were for. They really had no. A lot of them were even unorganized. Things were just stuck in there. So that's kind of what I wanted for this journal, was for things to, for me to find something on my desk that I liked and to attach it to a page in some way. And the pages even were just, they didn't have a focus on anything. They were just paper that I had lying around. So I did take some things, like this pocket is out of my collection of pockets. Actually, I think there's three pockets out of that collection. And there was a couple of clusters that I had made a while back that I've found and put in. And then I've used papers to make other clusters. I've used bits of lace to embellish here and there. I didn't want to put a huge amount of lace in because the journal is not structured for that. It wouldn't have had the room. And but I did embellish with a bit of lace, mainly paper. So I really like the lace pockets because they aren't quite as bulky. Oh, it depends on the lace that you're using, I guess. But two of the lace pockets were out of this, out of really thin antique lace. This one and another one. And the others were out of a newer type of lace, which I got from Mrs. Bath's Drawers, I think. I can't remember her Etsy shop. I will link it below. I'll tell you which lace it is when it comes up to that. But yeah, I did use some of her lace, and it's it's not very old, but was quite nice and I liked it, so I used it. So here I'm just trying to evenly space out some pockets and tuck spots and that sort of thing, so that I can add in some journal cards and tags. And I'm not really sure that I'm actually going to put any vintage ephemera, as in letters or anything, in. I don't even have many I don't even have very many digitals of antique and vintage letters. I haven't got very much of that left. I need to do some printing, which I will try and do this week. So yes, on Monday, when I was only in hospital for the day, or part of the day. It was a day surgery procedure, and when I come home, I had an epidural, and so I was apparently supposed to be supervised. I don't know why, because I was fine, and people have epidurals all the time, and like women have epidurals for babies, and then they go home a day or two later, but I did have my son come and stay with me. He stayed overnight, and but when I come home, I got stuck into doing some scanning, because I had loads and loads of scanning in my kitchen. It was just piling up on one of my bench tops, and on my kitchen table, half of that is taken up with dies, embossing folders, and the Sizzix machine, and my kitchen was just looking really untidy, and so I decided I was going to work through that. And the other thing too is that I was getting really bored with the ephemera that I had to work with to create journal cards, tags, and embellishing pages and all that sort of thing. I was very limited on what I could use, because a lot of it was in that pile waiting to be scanned, so that I had it for future use as well, because it's really hard getting a hold of lovely images and stuff like that. So a lot of the images most of them, the greater majority of them, I couldn't put in a digital kit. I can only use them in my journal, because of copyright and that sort of thing. So yeah, but I needed to have these things preserved, and so I managed to get most of it done. It did take me about 3 days, but not working on it for hours and hours on end. I'd work on it like 3 or 4 hours at a time. Yeah, I had a lot. Trust me, I had a lot. Most of it was music books, which I wanted to digitally preserve the covers and, well, not of all of them, but most of them, the covers and the title pages, and even some of the sheet music If it related to a particular theme, then like I've got music on that relates to fairies, for example. I've got music that relates to flowers, and so those types of sheets I wanted to reproduce for my own use. I do have to go through all of my music books to have a look and see if any are still under copyright, and separate those into a separate folder so that they don't get mixed up, because I'd like to do a digital kit for music books, book covers, and music sheets. But of course, with copyrighted items, you have to be very careful. So I will look into that before I create a digital kit. And I mean, the reason why I wanted these pages and the music book covers is because they make really good journal pages. They make great journal covers, and they make really good pieces of ephemera to put into journals, into pockets and stuff. So, even if it's not an original piece that I'm putting into a pocket, a digital, like a printed one, is still really good. And because like most journal creators, we have a balance of digital and original ephemera, and so yeah, it's all very hard to come by. So preserving what you can for your own personal use, like, or for not necessarily personal use because I sell my journals, but for your own use, to be created into something is really good if you can do that. So and amongst all that pile that I had, I found I had quite a lot of fussy cut pieces, and I had the French documents that I bought some time ago. I wanted to scan those so that I could reproduce them, and I can actually put them in a kit because, well, they're antique and they're not bound by copyright. So yeah, I can share them with you all in that way. So I have to. The only thing is, my scanner is an A3 scanner, so I have to work out how to resize them for a digital kit. Yeah, but I'll work that out, and when I can, I will get them in the Etsy shop. So now I've just got to file it all away. I haven't finished filing away yet, and I have to create the other steampunk pieces for the other journals. I haven't done that yet, and then I can put all that away, return Alice's dies and embossing folders to her, and get them out of my kitchen. Going through all the stuff there, I came across pages that are for specific journals, and I'm really looking forward to creating those journals. So Yeah, I need to get these other ones finished. The steampunk ones, I need to get them done, and but for now, I just wanting to ease back into my craft room, ease back into videos, and I don't have to think too much with something like a scrappy journal. Although, mind you, the cover gave me a bit of a headache, but that's okay, it got done. So this is a little hanky flip from Mrs. Bath Drawers. It's really sweet. So yeah, just still trying to work out where I can put pockets and what type of pockets they'll be. I don't know what I'm going to do with that other other half of the centre page. I think I'll probably end up creating something that can be clipped to the page. I'm not sure. So by the time the end of this video, the whole journal is not absolutely finished. There's about another hour's worth of work, definitely another hour's worth of work to go into it, but that's okay. It won't take long, and yeah. So I'm just going back through, trying to work out what I can do on different pages. And I really only want to use what's on my desk as much as possible. So oh, this little pocket, I love the way this pocket turned out. It's so cute, it's sweet. So, yep, I've decided, yes, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm doing another scrunched pocket with this lovely, it's a lace on net. It's like a tulle sort of lace. It's quite old and very, very fine. I can't remember now if you get to see this, how I finish it off, the process of putting this pocket together. No, you see it in the end, and that, but so my phone actually went flat. So I had to put it up on charge, and while it was on charge, I continued working in the journal. So I did that little cluster at the front, found some tags and bits and pieces to put into pockets, and did that. And then when my phone was charged, I came back and continued with 2 or 3 uptucks and some ephemera that I quickly put together. So so it would have been, yeah, it would have been 4.5 hours, 5 hours tops to put this journal to the point where I got it for the end of the video, which is pretty good, I think, for me anyway, because there's a lot of faffing about happening. And I'm restricted, very, very restricted by this tiny little space on my desk. The rest of my desk is totally covered with stuff. On Monday, when my son arrived, he had a look in my craft room and he said, "Mum, it's such a mess in here." And it's like, yeah, I know. I'm working in it. So, I don't tend to tidy as I go too much, because, especially if I'm working on something, because I might need it again. So I just don't put it away until that particular task is completely finished, and then I put things away. I go through and tidy up, and it takes me about, for the state my craft room is at the moment, it would take me 2 or 3 hours in the morning to tidy up. So I will need to tidy it before I go back to the steampunk journal, because I've got everything but steampunk on my desk at the moment. So here is another uptuck, and I'm just layering up the pocket thingy and putting a fussy cut on there to make it look a little bit prettier. So I am regretting adding in this purple page. I am not a fan of it, but I had it. It was given to me, and so I was determined I was going to use it. But I wish that I hadn't have put it in this journal, because I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't have a vision of what it should look like. So I actually did regret putting it into the journal. It's another uptuck pocket. The reason why I wanted to get some pockets at the top of the page is because a lot of what I had put into the journal had been at the bottom end of the pages, and it was making the bottom part of the journal bulkier, so when the side flap came over, it was quite uneven, and so adding some pockets at the top of pages and clusters and what have you at the top there helped to sort of even out the whole journal. This is a lovely piece of antique rag paper, cotton rag, and it's got some lovely script on both sides of the paper. It's obviously a piece of a document or a letter or something, and so I was just going to embellish it with some cheesecloth, and I'm pretty sure this is a Tim Holtz person that my friend Alice did for me a couple of years back. She gave me a whole heap, and I haven't used them as yet, and these were in the bottom of the scanning pile, so I have used them. Why they were in the bottom of the pile I don't know, but because I didn't scan those. The Tim Holtz people and stuff, I don't use a huge amount of Tim Holtz ephemera. It's not that I don't like it, it's just that it's not really me. So yeah. So just putting some collaging bits together for someone who might like to use them. Stuff them in a pocket. And I decided that I wasn't going to do any stenciling in with any paint or modelling. Oh, it's late at night here while I'm doing this recording, and now my brain is just not functioning at all. Modelling paste or whatever you call it, I was going to, and then I decided against it, so instead I've used my embossed papers, which I watercoloured the paper first and then embossed it, so that adds texture to my pages. And I'm still thinking about the cover, what I'm going to do. I did not plan the cover at all. I had no plan whatsoever for it. So that was a bit tricky. But this material is a vintage, very, very vintage piece, and it's actually a set of 3. Someone had made themselves a Duchess set out of it, so that's the largest piece. It's the large centerpiece, and I thought it was very lovely, and so I was using it on here. I haven't used the 2 smaller pieces yet. They may get used on something in the near future. Yeah, still thinking about it. I still have no clue. All I know is that this fabric is going on the cover at this point. I actually felt like I was grasping at straws with this. It was... the ideas were not flowing. It was like... it was just not happening. It was like pulling hen's teeth. Have you ever heard that saying before? Hens don't have teeth. So of course there's no ideas to be drawing into myself. So I'm just rambling here, just because it's pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing. I'm faffing about, finding it very difficult to make a decision. What time is it? It is 12:15 in the morning. So it is now Saturday. So I'm trying anything to see if I can get this cover to pull together. So obviously now I've made a decision. And it's all happening. I've got to this point, and the little, if you look to the right, top right of the screen, you can see a little dark ecru coloured rose. It's the very last rose of my hand folded roses collection that I had, and I had an idea that I would use that on the cover, so where the cover ends up is inspired by that little old rose that I didn't end up using in the end. um, so yeah, decided that I am going to put this lace on here, and I do end up putting it down the other side. This Arlene's glue that I'm using, the tacky glue, I'm quite liking it, but I'm going to try the Crafter's Choice if I can get it here in Spotlight in Australia. I know I was watching a video the other day from Pixie K Designs, Kate's Place, and she was using the Crafter's Choice fabric glue, which is a Spotlight glue. She said she gets it in Spotlight, but she's in New Zealand, so if we have it in our Spotlight, I'm going to give that a try to see what it's like. But this Arlene's tacky glue is actually really good. If you haven't used it yet, I could give it a recommendation. I'm happy with it. However, I'm just have to wonder whether it is just like any other PVA glue. I don't know. I have used PVA glue before, and I find it okay. It's just some of the makers of it, the bottles, the nozzles aren't small enough, so that can be a bit sloppy for creating junk journals. These leaves and the flowers that I end up using are they've got like a velvet sort of feel to them. I see there's my lonely little rose that got tossed aside really unceremoniously like. So these roses, flowers in here, these are all millinery roses. They're not antique or anything. They're new. I've had them for a long while though, and I used to use them for embellishing boxes that I had painted or collaged or whatever onto, and I used to sell these boxes on a market stall that I had, and yeah, used to sell quite a few of them. And I've been hoarding these flowers because they're not cheap to buy. They're reasonably sort of pricey, and so I was hoarding them. But see, I don't make that stuff anymore as a rule. I haven't done anything like that for a very long time, and so I thought, oh, yeah, so I thought I'd use them for this journal and that, and I'm glad I did. The cabbage roses that I picked out were perfect. They're so lovely. They're so sweet, and these flowers they add such a look of luxury because of what they're made out of. Just beautiful. So I was tugging at it to see if it's going to stay together. Usually when you cut the flower stem, the flower just falls apart, but these are actually quite well made, and so yeah, no, it's staying together. So I'm just trying to decide where I'm going to put this other one to create balance on the cover. And now is the little, I don't know, they look like pansies to me. Little velvet pansies. And the cover is nearly finished. I'll do another quick flip through for you so that you can see it as it is at this point. I don't know how many pages are in it. I never counted them, and I don't know how big the journal is. I didn't measure it. So, and this is a plastic button. It's a metal look button. It was a shank, but I cut the shank off because it was just sort of wobbling around, and it just didn't look right. But in hindsight, I should have left it so that I could wrap the lace tie around it. But anyway, never mind. What's done is done. So okay, so it's dry. I just had to wait for it to dry. I'm reasonably happy with it. I'm not overly happy with the lace tie that I chose. It's a little bit too dark, but I didn't have any other lace that was strong enough, and not in a like an ecru sort of colour, and I just wanted to get the journal finished, so dyeing some white cotton lace was out of the question because I was just being impatient. And I'm just doing a label for the bottom. I must organise labels for my journals. I'm going to be looking at that in the next month or two, probably within the next month. So it's not something I have done on my earlier journals. This is something I do on my journals now. And it's just someone had said to me about, do I put a maker's label on mine? And that I should. So I started doing it. So I'd love to know what you thought of this journal, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of it. Do you make scrappy journals? Do you use your leftover bits to create journals out of? And or do you just keep those scrappy bits for collage and ephemera? So I'm going to add a key to the bottom of this lace as like a toggle to thread. It makes it easier to thread the lace through the wrapped layer. And then I will do the flip through. There she is, all done. So yeah, I'd love to know what you think. Give me a thumbs up And leave me a comment. Oh, this pocket. You should always wait for your pockets to dry properly. I have to re-glue that now. Anyway, so this is the end of the video, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today and crafting along with me if you were crafting. And peaceful blessings to you all.